No, I didn't see this coming. I've just received a letter from Watford County Court, I believe. At least I'm sure it said something different on the envelope. Anyway, there you go. I was a bit, oh, should I open this? Because obviously you never know, do you, when it's stamped with courts and stuff. I thought perhaps the police might try to boost the case against me again or something. So, if you will recall the videos about Newlyn bailiffs, and in the second one, I had basically contacted Watford County Court, since they said that that's where they got their licence from. They'd asked me to fill in a form, which I said, look, I'm not having this. You know, if you want it on this form, transfer the information yourself. I'm not jumping through hoops to complain about something that's, especially since this was about 2 years ago, from when I sort of deliberately wasn't paying council tax to see what the council would do. And you know, I'd been sat here the last week or so, I haven't been off work, and I was thinking, yeah, I really should email again and say, oh, well, Watford County Court, you're obviously bent as the rest of them and all this, because this was a couple of months back and I haven't heard from you and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes there's like, it's hard to explain. There's like a little kind of angel or something I can feel sitting on my shoulder sometimes, and it'll just say, just wait. Just wait. And predictably I get fed up with it sometimes, and I just said stuff anyway, but on this occasion I listened to my little friend. So I've now received this from Watford County Court, and obviously my complaint against Newlyn was the standard stuff with bailiffs, is that they were posting stuff through the door when I wasn't here, obviously trying to make themselves money, etc. and so forth. Completely illegals. At one point they said they were going to take the neighbour's car, you know, because they happened to have parked outside my house. There's a bit that you can park that it wouldn't really be clear which house the car belonged to. And all this of course was going on, I was away on the road. So I was coming home every week to these letters from these people saying, oh, we're going to call round ASAP, we're going to... they put one through which was supposed to be an agreement between me and themselves about which items of furniture they were going to take and all this sort of thing, and of course I hadn't even spoken to them, so how could there be an agreement? And that form was supposed to have been signed by me, and it wasn't, obviously, because I wasn't here. So anyway, to cut a long story short, they're taking it to court. And they've sent me the form to fill in, which is fine. At the end of the day, I've still got to write it all down, haven't I? I just wasn't going to go looking for the bloody thing. And I'll need to dig my paperwork out and stuff for the days they visited, but that's no problem. I've still got most of that anyway. And so basically, a judge, I won't name him at the minute, has asked me to fill in the form, details of when they visited, what bailiffs I'm complaining about, and I've got to send it to, I don't know if that's their solicitors, some solicitors, I'll have to look them up later, Felton Law solicitors. If anyone knows them, just drop me a message on Google. But I'll obviously look them up and all that when I'm getting all the paperwork together. And then the court is to then notify me of a hearing date within 14 days of receiving my paperwork. What else does it say? Mr. Dacres and any other relevant bailiffs whose evidence is wished for the court to consider or to serve witness statements upon the court. And each other at least well, that's fairly standard, at least 14 days before the hearing, which they've just told me to do initially, you know. The hearing may be listed at Bedford County Court or Oxford County Court. I prefer Bedford, I don't really mind mind the drive. Oh dear. I think perhaps this might be a good time for David Cameron to phone me up and ask me and explain to me why not only has HDC been stealing money for 30 years, but also why they're employing bent bailiffs who break the law on what would seem to be a standard daily basis. And also, of course, why the police have lost all the evidence I gave them about HDC stealing money for 30 years and aforementioned said bent bailiffs. So, right, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to say any more about this now because this is going to court. You guys already know the background anyway, so I see little harm in telling you that things are going to proceed. Which obviously I shall have this paperwork out of the way by Monday and posted off. So, I remember having just watched them all, actually, funnily enough. I remember an episode of the A-Team when they were stuck in a closed room. And they weren't making a tank out of the kitchen sink because there wasn't even a kitchen sink. But they had to get out of this room, and I remember Hannibal turned round to BA and said, "Now BA, something is always on your side as long as you look in the right direction. And in this case, we look up." And of course they climbed up through the ventilation shaft. So, yes. Stuff your media blackout, David Cameron. And if I were you, I'd be around here quick smart before all this unravels in a courtroom, because I'm just going to have to tell the whole story behind why we're there. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Well, I'd say it's going to get very interesting, meeps.